Hey guys, welcome to this week's Sunday Spin, where we take the music that we're spinning this week. I'm Terry. Laura is moving this week, so unfortunately not here, but I am here with one of my nearest friends, also my greatest help from Camp Pennsylvania, Berg from the Wet Nose. Berg, how's it going?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you do have quite a few shows coming up. One of them is a Riot Squad Media show. What do you have coming up?
March 19th we'll be in Buffalo with Working Class Stiffs, the Abrupters, and Cardboard Homestead. After that, April 3rd, we will be in Copley, PA, at the building. That's going to be with Lunch Trucks, Condition Oakland, and Suppository. And then we have another Riot Squad show after that, or Riot Squad mashup. That's with Snipped, Filthy Lowdown, and Deadbeat Holiday. So we got a couple things going on. We got other shows we haven't announced yet, but it's nice to be getting back out and playing again.
Yeah, absolutely. Last I saw you guys play was at camp, so it's really cool. That crossover show is with us in Savage Mountain Punk Fest, so make sure you guys go check it out. I'm sure tickets for both shows will be available, so if you guys wanted to grab by then, we'll have our lineup released. So that's going to be very excited. We still have our early bird. That'll be dropping on the 20th with our lineup for Camp Pennsylvania. The early birds can be the cheapest our tickets go. So make sure if you do want to save a bit of cash, make sure you pick up your early bird sales. We're here to find out what we're listening to. So, Bird, what are you listening to this week?
Well, I took a bit of time to figure out what I was listening to. I couldn't get my couldn't get my pick going because I was trying to find something really recent, and that's not what I'm good at. I'm good at finding bands that died before I found them. It seems to happen. I'm like, man, this band's great. Are they playing in time? Nope, they've been dead since 2014. It looks like, but they did release an album in early 2020, and it was basically stuff they hadn't released prior, recorded around like 2010, 2011, or written around that time. And so that album is All Good Things ... by the Revengineers. It's got 9 songs, a little over like 25 minutes. But I discovered this about like 2 months ago, and really just at least 5 times a week or more I've been listening to it. It's very it's like chiptune influenced. It's got more of a punky sound to it because they do use live instruments like guitars and drums, which separates it from a lot of what's going on in the chiptune, but much more like an Anamanaguchi kind of style band. And this whole album, it's just fast paced, like really high energy, like just puts me in a great mood. I throw it on at work, and I feel like the hero of the video game the whole time while just picking up toilets and slinging them onto pallets. Like just a great time. Be good running music maybe. But my favorite song off of it's probably 88 Hulks Per Hour, which, number one, great name. It's a great name in general. But yeah, it's partly why I decided to just buy a guitar recently. Partly, I mean, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I needed a stupid guitar, like, why not? Honestly. But yeah, no, it's every song on the album is just a really solid song, and I'm like kind of bummed because it seems like not a lot of people have heard it. It's definitely the band was dead when they released it, so kind of not a lot of easy ways for people to stumble upon it. But I think if you like any like retro video game focused music, I think you should definitely check out this album. It's just a perfect album. I love it so much.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, make sure we've done 8-bit on this show. Not very often does it ever come through. So I'm actually really super cool, happy with the pick. I also, one day we'll have to have you back for you to just play a guitar song. That's really all I want. Hopefully we'll see.
I gotta learn how to play it first.
Yeah, and hopefully we see it come to camp. hopefully you learn how to play real fast. But fingers crossed. Well, my pick this week is a Sell the Heart Records band. Original Sun came out with their album called Current in February this year. They're a 3-piece out of LA. The album's about 10 songs, 29 minutes long. Opens up with castles. The intro to this is a little bit ominous. So I was like, I'm not too sure. They kind of sound like they were going to go into that post-hardcore sound, but it really, once they hit into the verse, it was punk rock and very heavy on the rock, which I really love. These guys have very chunky guitars, even chunkier bass. I love the lead vocals. He's very clear. You really hear the words to all of his songs very well, but there's a bit of a smokiness. I don't want to say it's like a gimmick. I think this is actually, some people, I wonder if like when it's smoky, if that's how they actually talk, but this guy, I think that's how he talks, is the way he sings. And it's beautiful. It carries, it has fantastic range, can hit those highs and those low notes. Really, really nice. And it really works with the style of this song. The song's about being shut out and then kind of having people shutting you out and then, for absolutely no reason, but because they're jealous and in a way because you're the weapon. And they actually refer to that part of it in the song and, trying to find that strength to kind of break through them and the castle to get through. It's a really cool song. Make sure you go see it. I really like the angle they took with it. The last solo of this song has a bit of like a 70s, but it also kind of gets mixed with post-hardcore. So I really like the mashup of the two. I think it really works. And then it just leads out. The second song I'm going to pick, it's kind of like an anti/love song. So anti-love, if you're the person that, is doing the shitting on, and then the love song towards yourself. So I really like the angle they took on that. It's called Flesh and Bone. And by the antis, loving yourself so much that you're not going to change who you are for somebody else and not loving anybody enough to change yourself because you really enjoy what you do and stuff like that. It opens up with the drummer. I really like how every song on this album highlights their music and their musicality. And there's really little touches of everything. You really see their talent come through. I think these guys are really onto something. I really dig this album. The vocals much throughout this album really have that fantastic range, especially in the chorus. You really hear it for the song. And, the solos are solid and these guys do a fantastic job with it. Their breakdowns throughout all their instruments are really, they each have like a piece to it. Even in the song, you have that bass solo, you have that guitar solo, and then you have a vocal solo and a little bit of drums in the beginning. They do it so well. And also the really cool thing, and this is one of their longer songs on the album. Generally, their songs are about 2 minutes, but because the musicality is so tight, they don't feel short. You really don't feel like you're missing anything. They really start with a good, solid, most of the songs a solid intro, but then they just end it really nice, and it comes out in a neat little package. So make sure you go check out these guys. You'll find them on Sell the Heart Records. And this brings us to our shout out portion. Andrew, who are you shouting out this week?
This week, I'm going to be shouting out Doc Rotten. They just released a new music video on Mario Day, March 10th. It's a great video put out by DIY Productions. There's like, it's got like a zombie theme to it. It's beautifully shot in like this red scale mostly. And there's like cartoon zombies throughout the video, put in there by Exit 7A Studios. Song's kind of what you come to expect from Doc Rotten, just really catchy, melodic, like choruses. Really, it's a good video. I enjoyed it. Have you seen it yet?
Well, so you will be. Everybody will be, because that's actually my pick for my video this week. I picked Corpses from Doc Ron just ahead of their March 26th release. And I guess because we both picked the same shout out, we're going to give this one the Right Squad Seal of Approval. I don't know where he falls on.
What are we pointing at?
One of those sides. I know it's opposite. It's all kind of messed up. Oh, yeah, right here. But yeah, congrats to the guys. That's pretty awesome. I don't think we've ever nailed a Seal of Approval on a shout out. So that's actually really cool. And so far, these guys, I believe they've released 3 singles. This is, I believe, their 4th, and everything's been solid. I'm really excited to hear this album from front to back. I'm sure you guys are going to hear me talk about it on the show at some point. But Andrew or Berg or whatever the hell I'm going to call you today, take that guitar, keep practicing. I'm excited to hear it, and thank you so much for joining me this week. And
not a problem.
We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Sound, light up the fires buried underground, tie the noose, hang the rope on this pole.